For over 20 years, I've dedicated my life to bringing you the very best selling, marketing, and business building strategies to keep your business thriving. Get ready to experience the success you've been searching for. Welcome to the Tom Ferry Show.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Tom Ferry Show. Super pumped to be sitting here with my great friend and rock star sales trainer and coach of the superstars, Mr. Coach Bill Pipes.
Hola, hola.
Thank you for coming, man.
Of course, brother.
So Bill, you know, we're in this new year, and so many people are in this sort of new year, new you mindset, and everybody watching the Tom Ferry Show or Facebook or everything else has seen me talk about this rant around your commitments and then aligning your behaviors. And you're here, so I had to grab you because I believe one of the most important behaviors is the art of selling, the habit, the skill of being able to articulate your message in a way that causes people to trust you and ultimately gets them to say yes. So I figured I got the guy here who leads our Sales Edge course and is helping so many people. Let's go maybe just like simple, like the market's great. Why do skills matter in a great market?
You know, I look at the market right now, and I look at all the Sales Edge that we've done and the participants that actually come. And we've got some of the top agents, Tom, that are, you know, like they're already closing 60, 70, 80 million. And I think, why are they here?
Yeah.
And for me, it comes down to a couple of things. Number one, it's this word time, right? I think time is so critical. You know, when you've got great skills, it gives you the ability to get more done with less time. It takes fewer conversations. You know, you're leveraging yourself a little bit more. If you don't know what to say, you don't know how to say it, it takes more conversations. You burn through more leads. You have to spend more money. So it comes down to number one, time, right?
So I want to talk. So you're saying, why do skills matter? Skills save time.
The skills save time.
So if I know what to say to a client, I can get to the yes or get to the no, but not have to follow up.
I don't have to follow up.
700
I don't have to follow up 4 times. I don't have to. And here's the other key too. It comes down to number 2 is money, man. You know, like if you're highly skilled, then you don't have to spend as much money on marketing. Right? So you got 2 agents, right?
Yeah.
Okay. One agent they're both spending the same amount of money in terms of marketing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. One of them highly skilled, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Has the ability, knows what to say, knows exactly how to close, knows how to present effectively and powerfully. They can spend the same amount of money on lead generating.
Yeah.
This one over here is going to actually get a greater return on investment because of their skill set than this one over here who doesn't know what to say and doesn't know how to say it powerfully.
You and I have seen this so many times, and everyone watching, you think about your office, right? Think about a sales meeting, and someone stands up and says, I signed up for dingding.com web leads, and they're terrible.
Yeah.
And you're sitting in the room like, I signed up for dingding.com web leads, and I'm killing it.
Crushing it. Yeah.
You know, was it a lead disparity? No, it's like one has skills, and they know what to say and follow up, and they're comfortable, confident, and the other one isn't.
Your marketing is only as good as your skills.
Say that again?
Your marketing.
No, I like the dude part.
Dudettes. Your marketing is only as good as your skills.
Wow. That's a powerful statement.
You know,
that's a powerful statement.
Because what the skills do is it's like throwing gasoline on the fire.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so you can have all the leads, but if you don't know what to say, and you don't know the appropriate scripts and dialogues and the strategies for influence, then you're going to burn through a lot of cash.
Okay, if you haven't downloaded all of our scripts on the website, we should link up, like a link to tomferry.com just to download all the scripts for free. So maybe let's go a little deeper, and I want you told me once there was like a 30-day plan for like how somebody could like learn the skills, master skills, quickly get themselves up to a level of swagger or confidence. But first, I want to know, in your opinion, because you've now done all these events, you've seen all these people, and you see the room, you see when they light up, when they're learning a specific skill where maybe they're not as hot on other skills. So what skills matter the most now? What are you seeing?
I look at, and it doesn't change that much, and right now, when I look at Sales Edge, where people get the most lit up, where they're the most inspired, where they're just like, I want more, is when we talk about the presentation.
Which one?
The listing presentation.
Okay. Listing presentation.
Yeah. In my mind, your ability to be a powerful presenter when you're sitting in front of a client who's thinking about listing their house with you is so critical. Because think about this. If you've got a strong presentation, you want to prospect. You want to put yourself in situations. When you've got a strong presentation, you're going to close more on leads because you want the opportunity to be able to actually present. Now, flip it over the other side. here I am, I don't know what to say on a listing presentation. We know that all human beings are motivated by two forces. You got pleasure and you got pain.
Yep.
If you don't know what to say, the thought of sitting in front of, a client, a seller, and sitting there and feeling like an idiot.
A friend, a past customer that maybe you sold them a house, but you never listed the property with them. I'm with you.
And all of a sudden, that fear, right? And so all of a sudden you link listing presentation, fear, pain, listing presentation, pain. So what I notice happens.
And by the way, have you noticed how many people would then say, I just like buyers. Buyers are easier, right? And really what they're saying is, I wasn't willing to do the work to develop the skills.
That's right. Yeah,
it's powerful. That's a powerful insight.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, interrupted.
No. So and so when you work on your presentation and you get stronger, and we're going to go through some strategies and techniques that you can ultimately use. That within 30 days, guys, you're going to be like, you could be one of the top presenters, or at least you'll know what to say in just about every single situation.
Yeah.
Presentation. That's where you got to camp out.
So the question is, how do we develop the skills? So you're saying there's I remember you mentioning this 30-day plan. So I'm going to encourage you to write this down. Now, here's what's great. I've snuck in, or I've seen like on Periscope, who's in the audience at Sales Edge, and it's bananas. I mean, it's Peggy Lynn Spiker, who they did like 225 transactions, and she's listing. Scott Koppa with three times
in 1 year.
He's one of the best RE/MAX agents in the country, and certainly in New Jersey. But Tommy Tools. You see all these amazing agents showing up. And they all say the same thing. It's not long enough. We need more time.
We need 4 days. We need 5 days. Yeah, absolutely.
So what's the 30-day plan you gave those men and women? And does the same thing, by the way, relate to maybe someone that's watching right now who's never watched a Tom Ferry show before? They've never, they don't know our history. Totally. We didn't really go into our, 20-year relationship. They don't know what Sales Edge is, and they don't care, right? But they're a brand new agent, and they're like, yeah, he's talking to me. Like, I get it. Skills matter. Does it relate to them?
Check it out. To you who is brand new, and this is your first time, here's what I'd say to you. Either you're going to spend your time building your skills, or you're going to spend your time in front of people failing and trying to figure out how to do it. You're going to spend the time either way. It's either I'm going to spend it on skill building, so I don't have to spend as much time, out there and presenting or on the phone, or I'm going to learn by trial and error, which is just just can beat you down.
87% failure rate every 5 years.
Yep. And it's skills. I really believe it's skills and strategy. So here's the 30-day plan. Yeah, let's hit on with this. Number one, take one script at a time. Obviously, I said I recommend the listing presentation simply because the fact that, do we want you to work with buyers? Absolutely. However, listings control the market. Listings are leverage, right? And if you're a strong listing agent, easily translates over to you being able to close effectively with buyers. So choose one script. If it's not the presentation, if you're already rocking it at the presentation, then maybe you do lead follow-up, or you do a for sale by owner script, whatever area you need.
The past client center of influence, 3 questions, and just start basic. So one script.
One script. Number two, what you're going to do is you're going to schedule 10 to 15 minutes every single day. It's not sexy, and you're going to actually just read the script over and over and over and over again. This is the technique. I mean, you and I have been doing this for years, dude.
Yeah. We still do this today. I practice my presentation before I go on stage.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So this.
Give them the formula.
Yeah, this is the technique and the strategy that's ultimately used by actors and actresses. We didn't just make this up. We benchmarked this from Hollywood from some of the best actors and actresses. Number two, once you're chanting it over and over again, third component is, you've got to find someone to be able to actually role play, or what we call confidence build.
Confidence build.
Yeah.
Nice shift in your language there.
Absolutely. Change the context. Building. I mean, watch role playing. Yay! Not that much fun. I want a confidence build for 15, 20 minutes. And here's the key with this. Don't just choose one person. I see this as a big mistake that ultimately people make, is they'll choose one person and they'll role play with them for about 3 or 4 days per week. What's the challenge with that?
Well, you're only getting the same, person, the same their same DNA. So I need somebody that maybe has a different mindset, a different attitude, a different tonality, a different cadence.
Yes.
Someone that's going to throw different objections, who has a different point of view.
Someone that makes you feel uncomfortable.
Someone that makes me feel uncomfortable. Because it's the same person over and over again. You better hope you only run into prospects that are like that person.
Yeah.
Super important.
Totally. And like you said, and you say this all the time, all change occurs outside your comfort zone.
Yes.
If you really want to get good, find some people that are better than you and convince them. First sell is to sell them to role play with you, right? And then grow with them. Okay, so number 4.
So I want to be clear that you said 10 to 15 minutes.
Chanting.
Hi, yeah.
So
What are
you're
you
just going
talking
to
about?
read it. Hi, I noticed that your home recently came off the computer and is no longer on the market. I have a couple of questions that I'd like to ask you.
Yeah.
Number one, is your home currently still for sale? Number two, why do you think the home didn't sell? I mean, you just sit with the script and you read it. You read it
familiarizing.
over and over and over.
There's a chance that one person doesn't know the old numbers that you and I both know. The old case study of 73855. Will you share with that person
Sure.
why getting the words out of the way, chanting it and rehearsing it is so important?
Quick study that was done at UCLA, and a doctor by the name of Alfred Moravian broke it down, and he said that communication has three components. Number one are your words. The words are 7% of communication. Number two is your tonal quality. How you say something. I can go, Tom, you want to list your home with me, don't you?
Yeah.
Or I could say, Tom, you want to list your home with me, don't you? Same exact words, but the delivery actually changes the meaning.
The tone, and you were nodding yes on
And
the first
you'll
one,
notice,
and you did nothing on the second.
notice the other portion that is so powerful, guys, is 55% of communication is the body language that you use.
Yep.
You know? So when
it sounds like get the words out of the way, and then you create some congruency of message.
dude, you can't be thinking. You cannot be in a position where you're thinking, what am I going to say next? Because what happens is at that point you lose confidence. More importantly than that, though, you're not listening. Have you ever been in a conversation with someone where you could tell that they're not listening, dude?
They're waiting to talk,
Yes.
or they're just not engaged.
They're not engaged, yeah.
So 10 to 15 minutes of chanting
To get the words down.
Get the words down.
Get the words down. And then the role play, you're working on the 38%.
Yeah.
You know, like in the confidence building, you're working on how do I sound? How am I delivering the message?
Yeah.
You know, and you guys, you and your confidence building partner are actually having a discussion like, hey, this was really good. You did a great job here.
Yeah.
Your tonality was great. You were down swinging. I mean, there's so much that you can go into. That's why you want to come to Sales Edge, you know?
So what I love is to be able to get the feedback of, hey, you just asked the question, you know, and you've heard me talk about the three questions, like, there's not a lot of homes on the market, certainly not nice ones like yours. Have you had any thoughts of selling, right? But that's practice. Like, have you had any thoughts? I wish there was a bouncing ball.
Yes.
Any thoughts of selling? Not, have you had any thoughts of selling? Like, that's how like people like they don't actually do that, but that's their fear. Like, if I don't have the script down, I'm going to come across like I'm reading like a robot.
And that's not the
and
goal, dude.
No.
And that's not the goal, is to have you sound like a robot. The goal out of all of this is to allow you to enjoy this, allow your great personality. See, what I believe is that everybody has a fantastic personality. It's just sometimes what gets in the way is their lack of preparation in terms of their skills.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden we get super tight, oh my gosh, start to freak out a little bit.
See him as a dollar sign or
Yeah.
a dollar sign leaving because I didn't know what to say.
Yep, you got it.
So one script, start with one script, I love it, 10 to 15 minutes, chant, get the words out of the way, role play, or AKA confidence build,
baby.
to
Confidence
work on
build.
my tone and my technique. What was number 4?
So number 4 is a tough one, all right? This is
The first 3 might have been tough for them, but okay,
Yeah.
what's number 4?
So number 4 is, there's studies that have been done that say when you write something down,
Yeah.
you learn something 7-8 times faster because you activate my hand. I have to think about, I have to read the words first, then I have to write it, then I have to read it as I'm writing it. So the act of taking that script and writing it out once a day. Now, the listing presentation is 6 pages long.
Yeah.
So again, I go back to this. Either you're going to spend your time building your skills and actually be effective with clients, or you're going to not spend your time building skills, be ineffective, and spend the same amount of time, spend more time because of the fact that you've got to have to go see more clients, you're going to have to talk to more individuals, et cetera.
100%.
Okay? So you got to write it out.
So
Write out every
one
single
script,
day.
chant, role play, confidence build, and then we both know that same study because it's allowing you to memorize the words. So the words are out of the way, and now the words just come out of me naturally and automatically. And again, you said it. That's when, like, even if they don't have a personality, because not everybody does, but those of us that have a personality, the personality is able to shine, and you're able to be more authentic.
Totally.
Versus like in
and
your
you're able
head
to listen.
And,
You're able to listen. And I believe that thought is the enemy of sales.
Say that again.
Thought. Anytime you're thinking, it's the enemy of sales. When you're thinking, what do I say next? All of a sudden, notice what I just did. When I think, what am I going to think next?
You shrunk.
I shrank and I looked away from you because I have to think about what's the path, right?
We've all been in that uncomfortable situation of a presentation where we didn't know what to say. We asked a question, they didn't understand it. We did some metaphorical example and they just scratched their head and looked at you and were like, oh, you ever had somebody yawn in the middle of your presentation? That's always fun. So this is powerful stuff. Is there anything beyond the 4? Is there a number 5?
Bonus.
Bonus. Number 5. Let's hear it.
Okay. Record. All of us. Where's the phone?
I don't have a phone.
I do. Okay.
He just left the set of the Tom Ferry Show.
And I'm back.
All right.
Everyone has one of these.
Yes.
On side of this, there's a voice memo.
Oh yeah, that voice memo app.
That voice memo. Press record. Record the script in your own voice.
Brilliant.
Okay, record it, because this is leverage. While you're driving around, instead of listening to talk radio or music or whatever it is that you may listen to, you plug in your recording of yourself having done this, and you press repeat, and as you're driving around, what's happening is that's being played in the background. And because it's in your own voice, it's called passive learning process.
Yep.
You don't have to think about it, and you begin to actually, it just becomes automatic. I had a gal that I used to coach, a woman that I used to coach down in Florida, and she had a 3-year-old kid, right? And she would play the script in the background the entire time.
I love this.
And then all of a sudden, as she's driving one day, the kid goes, "When do you want to move?"
Yeah, knew all the scripts.
Yeah,
right? Starts doing the language.
Do you want to list your home with me? Like a little kid at 3 years old. And how did it happen? The same way same way that we learn A, B, C, D, E, F, G, because we heard it over and over and over again.
Yes.
So that's the key. This last point is critical.
And we can go total old school, and we could say loop in some Baroque classical music, slow the mind down. That's
you got it.
That's you can Google the benefits of Baroque classical music to do what's called super learning, right? So you can really increase your ability to retain all that information by adding Baroque classical music. Fascinating.
That's Baroque, B-A-R-O-Q-U-E, not B-R-O-K.
Yeah, it's some Baroque music. Love it. So Bill, this has been awesome.
Killer, man. Thanks for having
obviously,
me on,
of course, and I want to publicly thank you. You're out on the road, you're doing these events, you're rallying all the speakers and all the coaches to continue to help everybody in the ecosystem up their game. And we did that survey, and it was so obvious. And if you haven't seen the survey results yet, 3,000 people responded. And when you looked at the coaching clients of ours, you looked at the people that just play in our ecosystem, and you actually looked at some coaching clients of other companies that were actually participating in the survey, the standout for our group was marketing, obviously, killing it, and the authentic skills that we teach. This non-sort of robotic, same thing to everybody every time, but instead it's like being mindful of the person you're in front of and really engaging in their model of the world, which is like what Sales Edge is all about. So, and I just want to thank you.
You got it, brother, and thank you for giving me the opportunity. I have 2 things, and then we'll jump out. Number 1 is this.
More bonuses?
No bonus here on these. No more of that. Number 1, all life is about sales. The skills that you have in terms of becoming a great salesperson translate over into, you and I are both on this kick of great father, great husband.
Yep.
I know when I build my skills and influence, it allows me to be a better father to Liam and Sophia, and a better husband to my wife. Because everything's influence.
Yes.
Right? And that's number 1. And number 2 is, the goal is to allow your greatness to come out, period. The scripts are designed for your greatness to come out, and it's a dance. We don't want you to ultimately become a robot. It's to allow you to sort of use it as an outline, a framework, a guidelines, so that you can ultimately, sell more, have more fun when it's all over, when it's all said and done.
Save a ton of time.
Save a ton of time.
And I love the dance.
And do the dance.
The dance of sales, baby. The dance of sales. So, well, this has been awesome, and thanks, you. Brother. And listen, for everybody watching, I would encourage you. Look, download our scripts, download anybody's scripts. Just download some scripts. It doesn't really matter to me. I really am not attached. What I love is that little, 4-point, then the 5 bonus, to make sure that you're mastering those words and owning it in your personality for your clients, so you achieve your goals. 2016, best year ever, baby. That's what it's all about. So thank you, and thank you so much. Remember always, your strategy matters, and now more than ever, what you say absolutely rules.
Thanks for watching. If you love what you're seeing here, then click the button below to join our online community absolutely free. Thanks so much.